Awesome. Welcome, everybody, to the Big 121 podcast with your host, Peyton Moore.
And Spencer Nelson.
And today we have our guest, our teacher, Mr. Deckelmann, on for us today. And we are going to be asking him some questions about his experience in his class and kind of like why he teaches it and stuff. So, Spencer, would you like to ask the first question?
Yes. So, hello, Mr. Deckelmann. Nice to have you on the podcast today.
Hello, Spencer.
So, how long have you been teaching Writing 121?
Well, this class initially, in its first form, was AP. It was an AP composition class, and then it became a Writing 121 class. I want to say maybe 12 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you did you get to select this class, or was it given to you?
That's a good question. We had a counselor by the name of Liz Malum many years ago, and it was kind of a tricky class in the English department. Mm-hmm. People didn't. It was called AP Language and Comp at the time, and it was challenging, and not everybody wanted it. So it was a little bit of. The first year was a little bit of everybody took a step back, and I was left standing there. So they said, would you want to take this on? And I, at that time, I taught a lot of younger folks, and I was interested in the challenge. So I was ready for it and excited just to try something new. So it was a little bit of an assignment initially. And then when I had a chance to get rid of it, hand it off to somebody else, I said, no, I want to keep it. I like it.
That's awesome.
Cool. What have been some of your favorite teaching moments or assignments that you've given out?
What I can say, I struggle with favorites, but I do have things that were happened that were sort of epiphanies. And pretty early on in teaching, back when it was AP Lang and Comp, I realized that students really responded with the idea that we're going to perform our work, we're going to write a little bit during the week, and kind of I try to turn it like a coaching model. We practice during the week, and then Friday's game day, and we're gonna perform, or we're gonna share something. And that kind of just, I was really scared with getting students to care about their work and to do the assignments that might have seemed challenging. And so it was basically just a trick to try to get people to work hard. But then it became something so much more, where I saw students share things I was not ready expecting them to share, but then just they did work harder, and it gave me new ideas on things we could try, a lot more collaboration, a lot more conversation you guys are doing now. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the first, because I really hadn't done that type of stuff when I taught English in the standard classes before. And this was a way that I was okay, maybe these advanced kids can do it. And it really did change the way I teach. So I think that was kind of a favorite thing that has evolved into sort of how I teach the course now.
Yeah, me and Spencer throughout this, for our first episode and our second episode on semester 1 and 2, we always been talking about how it teaches us a lot of stuff, especially since it's called a course, but also a lot of everyday life skills on how to talk to other people and work with our teammates and stuff. And then kind of another thing, what are some of the different writing students you see in this class, and how often do you see that those stereotypes?
Oh, the different types of students. There is sort of there's archetypes for different type of students, and there's kind of an idea that people have of what the advanced student is versus the writing student. Mm-hmm. And so I usually have a lot of people in the beginning of the year that are I'm not going to lie, Mr. Deckelmann, I like to write more than I like to read. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the type of student, and they want to express themselves, but they find they don't quite buy into the idea that we learn to be better writers by being readers too. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of an archetype. Sometimes that's a little bit more male. Sometimes I have the student who is just very concerned with assignments. Tell me, did I do it correctly? They're really into the binary of it. Is it wrong or is it right? Yeah. And that often trends female, and they want to perform for the teacher. They want to do what's right, and for them, I have to kind of work on them thinking that it doesn't always just get better. Writing's not just a checklist. You can try a bunch of stuff and it can still fail, but that what we're doing in this class is a process. So that's a type of student, and that student has many forms, but I'm working with, sometimes the student is sort of the one and done, I did it, I finished, I got 15 minutes left in class, I'm done, Mr. Deckelmann. And trying to get them to believe that No, we're never done, but you're not bad, for wanting to be done. But like, we're going to keep working at it and trying to get people to buy into the concept of drafting. It's a challenge, especially in these AI conversations we've had. Mm-hmm. But there are more archetypes of the types of students. Those are like three of the sort of main ones I see. People that sometimes think academic writing can't be creative. That's a real challenge. They're like, oh, I really like semester 1, Mr. Deckelmann. That was fun. I don't. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, we can be creative here. Let's see, what else? Yeah, maybe you guys have some in mind that I'm forgetting, but those are some of the common ones I get. And then just like, you mentioned earlier, Peyton, it made me think, what's school about? You talked about we do more than just writing. Other
teamwork.
Like team and communication and I believe a high school teacher. I have a strong feeling about being an English language arts teacher is that if you just love literature, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got to like kids. You got to like learning, and so because your job is not just to teach. What a hyperbole is, or what like it's not just extracting skills. It's these other things. I want you guys to talk to each other. We want you to be good humans, but we want you to share and discover and explore. Like that, you have to be a place where students can do that, mm-hmm. And it's hard. I mean, I feel like I fail as much as I succeed in that, like I'm always trying stuff and it doesn't always work. Yeah.
I mean, like you do with us, you always switch us around in our groups and stuff. So I feel like that definitely, like sometimes, I'm amazing with this team right now, but then I switch to a different group and like maybe I don't get someone I like, but I still have to work with them.
Yeah.
And eventually, like I grow to like that person.
Yeah, you bring up a really interesting point about liking things, and this is a weird tension as a teacher. Sometimes there's a bias that only good work happens when students are in a state of joy. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe that, and not every teacher believes that. And I definitely don't believe that only good things happen if kids are terror and they're sad. And I don't believe that at all. But I do think there's sometimes not getting the group mate that you want can be a gift. And then sometimes it's not. Like I like it just didn't work out in that group. And that's why I do mix them up. But I feel it too when I see you guys like, I don't want to be with these people. I'm like, I'm sorry. And sometimes you guys just beat us. In other classes, we just like, okay, sit wherever you want. Yeah. And I do see it. There's a fall off in some of the, like this last set of group, like you guys were really good with your last groups.
I know, yeah.
I don't know how I'm trying to recreate it for next year. Like what did I do or how did we make that happen? Because I thought it was like alchemy. We actually had some pretty good groups.
I feel like it was a really good like mix of people. Like you would always have, not to harp on anybody else, like you would always have like the one like really hard worker, and then you would have like kind of a moderate one, and maybe like a lower one, but they all like started like uplifting each other.
Yeah, that's like, good. Okay, that's a note for me. Go ahead, Spencer.
Kind of about that, like I think kind of having those like group projects with like the posters about assignments or kind of grouping students together with like our writing constructs this year or like this semester, and having those people kind of talk about what their construct is with each other, and then having that kind of discourse from the opposing views of it. Yeah. Like that helped a lot, like with me personally, of like kind of connecting more with the people I'm partnered with. Because I mean, I'm a junior, so I don't know like, I didn't know like any of these people, and then I'm in a class with them, and then I had to learn how to kind of talk with them, work with them, just like it kind of, I mean, not like endure the like difference, but like it was a really interesting thing, and then it helped me out as a writer too, getting their opinions on what I'm doing. All sorts of stuff. It was really interesting.
That's so good to hear, because I had to give you a common thing you could talk about too. Yeah. And it's a little bit of it really was just me trying to solve a problem because I didn't love this project, you know. And I'm like, well, at least if they're around each other, they can share resources. But I think there's something else you guys got out of it that was not just making the assignment easier. It sounds like, at least from what you're saying. Yeah, that's good to hear.
And then another one of my questions, kind of like, would you recommend this class to future, like why would you recommend this class? And then like, what are some of the things you think they'd get out of academically, and not like, and also kind of in their lives as a whole?
Yeah, that's a good question. I try to recommend it to anybody who who thinks that they want to take on college, I think it's a really good, and not just because it'll prepare you for writing. I actually don't think it fully prepares you for the writing in college. Each professor has different, it's like a genre of the way they want, and you're going to have to learn. I want you to be genre aware, like, okay, this guy's got a different form. I got to do it this way. I want you to be able to be adaptable, hopefully. But I think the class should be recommended to anybody who wants that challenge, because I think the class is a challenge, and if you can kind of survive it, yeah, sounds good, kiddo. If you can survive it, I think a lot of the other difficult academic tasks in college, they feel very manageable. I mean, college is just like this project we're working on right now. You know, you think about how you felt about it at the beginning, and you're like, we got this. And then you get in the middle and you're like, okay, I think we still got it. And now, like today and tomorrow, you're like, do we got this? Yeah. It's like, it's harder. It's always harder than you imagine. And like, each one of our essays kind of follow that same trajectory. You're like, I don't know, this is easy. And then it's like, oh gosh, it's not. And then you're at the bottom of the well, and you got to claw your way out. And I think every time you fall into the bottom of the well and you can claw your way out, it's sort of like training your brain, like athletes, you know? God, that practice sucked, but I got through it. And you didn't get your best time, but you got through it. Yeah, you didn't quit the team or whatever, you know? And so it's like, I think this class is it's an endurance. I talked about that mountain climbing reference at the beginning of the year. It's like, type 2 fun. You know, some of it's more appreciated in the rearview mirror, but like you survived it. I think that's why I like sports. I think they're good because it's like, or an instrument or something, like a performance-based thing, because like it's survival. And so I do think I am so happy that you guys are here, you know, like boys. Yeah. Because you talked about those archetypes earlier, and it's like a lot of boys they couldn't imagine themselves in an advanced class. Yeah. It's like they're going off to college. This is just a regular class we're going to take in college. And so it's like, I like comms did that. I think they opened the door for you guys. It's like a lot of boys, I think, are a little bit more comfortable just talking. And like you guys right now, you know, this is like our natural, our love language, right? A little bit be chatty people. And I think it's neat because we've got comms brought you in, and now you kind of start to maybe see yourself as an advanced kid. And I don't know, maybe I'm projecting on you a little bit, but like, I think that's this is the first time I've ever had 50% male, female for this class all the years I've taught it. Yeah. Wow. And it's the most kids we've ever had. So it's like really great. So we have a high volume. Yeah, like when I started AP Lang, we'd have 12 kids maybe take the AP test at the end of the year, you know, and we were lucky 9 kids pass it or something with a 3, you know, it was like nothing special. And so now it's like, most people are getting college credit, a lot of males and females. It's good.
So you've definitely seen that growth and more interest in this class.
Yeah, and I got better at teaching it, but like, and then the portfolio method is easier than a high stakes test, and so I want kids to pass college. You know, I want them to get through it. You know, those who want to do it. But I even kids who aren't college bound, I think this is a good, just like a sport and stuff like that, is good for them. Yeah.
This is kind of more of like a question for you, but how does this class challenge you as a teacher?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, like you guys have experienced this last month. Almost every lesson. The lesson you mentioned earlier, that poster thing, that's new. You know, it's me going, I didn't love how this went last year. How can I fix it? So it's the grading, I throw so much at you, but everything I throw at you comes right back. You throw it back, I've got to look at it. So this class is definitely challenging for me, and I mean every day is hard. Like even now, it's like, okay, how do I make this thing work where we're all going to come together and share? Like, how do we have the podcast working with the other thing with it? You know,
exactly, with all the different forms of media that people have done.
I'm really excited about it. Like, it's really hard, and that's why I like it. That's why I like teaching. And I'm a half timer, and that has made it possible, so I can really focus on you guys. So this is fun.
What are kind of some like common struggles you see within students or like throughout the years?
Good question.
Like with the kind of different types of assignments and things that you've like given
I mean, I think you can speak to some of it, right? Like I think the deadline stuff is just hard. There's certain things I want to do better to make it easier for that student to like be successful, and if you have health issues and things like that where you're going to be out. But I also would say having deadlines that matter are one of my gifts I think I give to students, because we've kind of experimented after COVID with, let's just maybe let kids turn things in whenever they want to, and that hasn't worked.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the data's in. You know?
Yeah.
When we even talked to our other fellow student, Devin, he was like, he was talking about how you were very lenient when someone does have like a sport or something. He really liked that about you as a teacher. Like, he always knew that there was always that like that kind of that safety. If he was doing like an extracurricular activity, he would be safe in his
and that is true. But I think I just don't know. We're all in our little silos. I don't understand how every other teacher works, but remind me exactly the wording of that question. I feel like I'm skipping part of it.
Like just like the common struggles you've seen with students, and like how kind of you've been able to help them with those.
So struggles? The biggest, so one of them is deadlines, and then just like I told a speech I gave at the beginning of the year is like you get a 0 in that assignment. I'm not going to make you feel bad about it. I don't want you to feel bad about it. Learn from it. Let's move on. There'll be enough opportunities, and that's a new thing. Instead of a kids having to have like 15 assignments in their backpack and they just here they all are. Yeah. Like what does that mean? Yeah. So deadlines is one, and a lot of students just not seeing themselves as boys, especially as writers. Like I don't know. I don't think I can do this. I don't. And just like no, you can. Or it just people expect it to be perfect. And then just challenges like somebody gets a B on something, they think they're a bad person or something. It's really weird. That's like those are challenges students have. I don't know. I mean, I know you guys have spoken. I haven't heard what you said when you interviewed other people, but I probably would agree with the ones you've mentioned.
Yeah. And then kind of about me, like with those struggles, like I feel like that having those hard set deadlines has also been helpful because I'm a procrastinator.
Yeah, me too.
Like a lot of my classes, I kind of just wait and then I like turn it in and do the
that's what I
assignment.
found.
But like having these hard set deadlines has helped me. Not with like just this class, but like all my classes, like getting my work done and doing it well. Yeah. And then like kind of like what you said about like another struggle of like boys not kind of seeing themselves as writers. Yeah. When I went into this class, I didn't think I was a good writer at all. Yeah. And then like we'd do the assignments, we'd go through them, I'd talk with you, I'd talk with my peers. Yeah. And then like I like see that like I keep getting better and better. And I mean, I liked that, like getting better and seeing that I'm doing better.
Yeah, and that's my favorite thing when a student, I don't have to convince them through some grade or some weird comment that they're getting better. The student's like, no, I know I'm getting better. I read some earlier stuff just today, and I know I'm getting better, and here's the 3 ways I'm getting better. And I'm a believer in reps. We're just getting reps. And so many of us, 20, 26, just don't write very much, don't put the reps in. Yeah. And so it's like, we think we're bad or not good at this. It's like, no, we're just going to get some reps this year. Mm-hmm. I would love to be the secret sauce, but I really think it's just giving kids an opportunity to get more repetitions of writing. And that's been the big, and I'm glad to hear that. But I think you came to that on your own. I don't know if you didn't need the attaboy from me to believe that.
Yeah. Like you said earlier about comms and how I came from it. At least it did bring me up some confidence. But you also teach that. How does this class kind of differ from the other ones you teach?
It's comms was terrifying for me last year. It's all new. We were building the airplane in the air. So this year it's been a little bit easier and a little bit less exciting in that, to be honest. It was so wild last year, and you guys were a highly academic cohort, and so you worked very hard too. So we had kind of a different thing this year, but the kids were wonderful. But yeah, they're really different classes. This is a little bit more comfort zone for me just because I've taught it so much, and I experienced the anxiety of students last year like live. I experienced it with you. I knew I had to score your work, and I'm like, oh man, if they don't do this one part right, they don't get the college credit. Whereas writing 121, I can say, okay, this is what's missing. Keep working on it, and it'll get across the line. And if you just work hard enough, you'll be able to do it. Whereas comms, you got to work hard, but then you also have to perform. And that's the comms is harder for that, and comms has also really changed this class. This class, kids used to freak out about sharing their work.
Yeah, especially since a lot of because this is mainly a senior class. And a lot of people come from that comms class beforehand.
Yeah,
well, this year at least.
It is so funny because just nobody. I have 2 or 3 kids who haven't taken. They get a little nervous when they have to read their work out loud, but you guys just don't at all. I mean, you might be nervous, but you aren't showing it. You're not complaining about it, and so that's the biggest place. I used to be like, oh, I always scare kids in the first 2 weeks when we share our micro essays, and kids are like, yeah, cool, share my micro essay. And so that made me really laugh this year, that it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
And then they see it as an easier class. I'm like, yes, they see it as an easier class. That's new.
Yeah, so overall, you would say this is kind of like comms is your Wild West so far, and then this is just your rock and stone, and like
yeah. I like that, and I'm definitely still learning both the classes, how to teach them better. I mean, I think I want to be a good teacher, and I think good teachers are always questioning, how could it be better, or how could it be better, and what. And also, like, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, sometimes the kids just had a bad day and it didn't work out. Like having to always try not to blame myself or the students for everything, and but still asking, what could we try? And so I like novelty. I like new things, and so that's my problem. Is I'm always reinventing it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a good year. This was a better year, I think, than other years. I really enjoyed this group of students too.
And then kind of going back to like when we first started talking, what are like some things like or believe students get out of this class, like whether it be like skills or knowledge?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think the biggest is confidence, and grit. And I think a lot of kids had grit before they came to this class, but I think they see that they have a gear that maybe they didn't know they had. And that's the biggest compliment. I don't care what grade you get in my class at all. But if a kid goes, no, I think I can handle some challenging academic problems that will come in my future. And if it's like gravy if they go, no, I think I can handle some non-academic challenges, because I survived Deckelmann's 121 class, and that was really it made me have anxiety, because I just think not all anxiety is bad.
Yeah.
Not all work is bad. Not all feelings of sadness are bad. Sometimes those things are bad, and we want to avoid them. But like, that's what I hope people get at, is that like they're more resilient than they thought. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, you guys were probably pretty resilient. You've had your own challenges. I know that you were resilient before you came in. You're literally going off to
I came back and
boot camp, and you're like,
back from
you've already leaned into challenges prior to this. But like, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
This class definitely made me feel like kind of like I started kind of from nothing, because like I really was not in a big English guy before this, and like writing, but especially with those like the first semester with like the personal stories, and having that way to put the experiences from basic training, and like that really opened me up to writing, and I fell in love with it. Yeah,
rather you learned that show versus tell when you got to write about the things you cared about. And that's by design. I'm like, this, a lot of schools, this is a single one semester class. We just do basically what we did this semester as that one semester. And I'm like, no, we have to have a whole semester where we get to talk about ourselves. And it's the favorite subject of most people, but I think you working out your own ideas about who you, and when you're 18, 17, 16 years old, like identity is huge. Figuring out who you are is huge. So writing about yourself, I think, is really important.
Yeah. And kind of for me, like I said earlier, I wasn't the biggest writer. I didn't have a lot of confidence in writing, or like kind of just like my skills about it in general. But like going through this class, doing the assignments, like that like upped my confidence a lot, I feel like. And it also made me feel like it made me like writing more. It made me kind of understand that you can get a lot out of writing, like about yourself or about subjects. You can get so much out of it, and it's like really like helpful. Like one of the things, like when I wrote about my college application essay about having my stroke and all that medical stuff, it kind of made me like realize how like lucky I was. It made me understand my feelings like better, and like I just feel like that's something that a lot of people could get out from a lot of like different assignments they do throughout this class. And it's like something that I hope other people can experience. Right,
and it is the one thing we haven't talked about. Like writing itself is like this very old but very amazing, fascinating technology where you can write down a thought or a feeling you're having on one day. You can come back another day, read it again, rewrite that thought, and then another day goes by, or later that night, you write on it again and edit and rewrite. So you literally have a work that was created by 3 different versions of you, that had 3 different things for breakfast, that had 3 different insults or compliments that they got in that day. And it's a collaboration that's impossible. It's like, it's a magical collaboration. And that's not what speaking is, and that's not just what thinking is. It's this third thing, So when you write something and you read this person's novel and you're like, this is just a work of genius. It's like, well, yeah, it was a work of 1,000 geniuses, 1,000 guys, regular dudes, regular gals, ladies, who kept working it. So they actually got to collaborate with 1,000 versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And that's where you're like, have these epiphanies because you just keep forcing yourself to think again, or just like getting them out of the thoughts out of your head and onto paper. That alone can bring insights that you just didn't know you had or whatever. It's so magical. And it is one of my biggest fears about AI stuff is that we won't even think to use it as that technology anymore because we think writing is just a means to an end. And I'm like, no, it's just a means sometimes. It's just a means for thought. It's a means for just like understanding ourselves, our illnesses, our struggles. The ends are what we grade. These products are, but they're so secondary. Like this is way more fun than, I don't know, you're going to edit this up. But there's something about this time you two got to spend making this thing that's just valuable, whether I get to put an A on it or not, you know? And so that's why I worry about gets lost in the next 10 years, you know? We'll find out. It's going to be weird.
Yeah, well, I got no more questions.
This is really fun.
I don't either.
This is a lot more fun than I thought. You guys are very good at this.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for being on the podcast. This will be our last episode. Kind of like episode 3, part 2 or something like that.
Okay.
But thank you so much, Deckelmann.
All right.
Thank you for
guys.
your just everything.
Yeah.
This semester, last semester, this whole school year.
Exactly. Like, honestly, one of the best teachers. Like, every day you show up with, like, a little bit of like, spunk? I don't know.
I'll take
brightens up
that.
the class.
I'm embarrassed. Thank you so much.
You did the wrong